Hello, I'm Carl Seibert, and thanks for joining me for this breaking news edition of Metadata Matters. And today's news is good news indeed. Google and the IPTC and CPIC, which is a European trade association that represents the stock photo industry and photo archives, have announced that, effective immediately, Google will support at least some IPTC metadata on Google Images. Let's take a look at Google's press release and see what they're saying. Starting today, we have added creator and credit metadata whenever present to images in Google Images. To see this information on Google Images, you can click on the Image Credits link to view the metadata fields. Over the coming weeks, we will also add copyright notice metadata. So those are 3 IPTC metadata fields that we can now see in Google Images: creator, credit line, and copyright. Obviously, these fields speak to the heart of copyright management information. They answer the very basic question, to whom does this photo belong? Instead of the gratuitous and unintentionally ironic disclaimer that Google has given us in the past, that an image may be subject to copyright, we can now see for sure who owns the darn thing. And we can go from there, if we want to obtain a license to use the photo legally, we can simply Google up the photographer and ask. Now, it's entirely possible that we may be told just to go on our way, but the point is we are now empowered to be honest users of Google Images easily, in a mainstream way. Yes, you could always download the image, and yes, you could look and go backwards that way and find out who owns it. Yeah, sure. Now, regular users will know for sure who owns an image. And here we are, we're looking at the banner on my own blog, and the motto is, metadata empowers honest people. And that's just what happened today, folks. So this is something to celebrate. So let's go back to Google's press release and take a look here. I haven't actually seen this thing in the wild myself. Google is really big. It takes a while, and starting today might be a somewhat elastic concept for Google. They have provided for us this animated GIF, which shows a mobile version of a Google Images page. And we'll just watch this thing here. They come down, they click the More button, they click a menu item, and then the 2 fields pop up. So in this mobile view, here's the More button. Image Credits is the link in the menu to click, and voila! Here we have the creator and credit field for this particular picture, and in a few weeks, we'll see the copyright field as well. So this is wonderful news. Well, why is it so wonderful? Because if you run a website, the most important person in your world is the Google robot. If Google wants something, you do what Google wants. You please Google. And Google is telling us here that they want legitimate, accountable, authoritative information about the rights on pictures. They want metadata. Website operators will scramble to provide what Google wants. Now, we don't know if Google is going to use the respect for metadata as a page ranking signal or not. But logically, I would, in their position, for sure. We also don't know if Google is going to read other metadata and use it internally or not. Once again, I would, in their position. And we don't know if they're simply going to expand on this and they're going to show us, for example, caption information, which will be tremendously helpful both to us and to Google. Once again, they don't say that sort of thing, but I sure would. And the news is already spreading. The sun hasn't set on the original press release, and here we have Search Engine Journal, which is an SEO outfit, telling their readers about this change and advising them on how to prepare, how to give Google what it wants. And if you run a website, this is a great deal. This is free Google juice, folks. It's going to cost you a little more than a millisecond per picture of page load time to provide metadata. Not just these 3 fields, but a proper assortment of metadata across the board. That is almost a freebie. Nobody can perceive a millisecond or even 10 milliseconds. And the changes that you need to make on the server are very easy. They're very quick. Look on my blog, and there are several posts about making those changes and making your website respect metadata. Is that going to give you a great boost from Google? Who knows? But it's sure going to help. And the important thing for us as content creators is that everybody's going to do that. Websites will now start to respect metadata, or a trend will start in that direction. So that then means, for content creators, that we better get on the ball and put the metadata there in our content in the first place. Website owners are going to ask us for it because it's going to benefit them as well as us, as well as honest users of services like Google Images. So this is a tremendous start for momentum. This is a great kickstart for accountability and responsibility and making our images more valuable in the future. Now, if we'll pop over, here we have the IPTC's press release on this development, and they have offered all sorts of helpful resources. They have done a quick start guide, and I will put the link down below in the description section for this video. And this thing is pretty comprehensive. These people seriously know what they're doing. They are, after all, the IPTC. This is all about their standards. They are offering the use of their IPTC online metadata reader. And if you remember, we had a blog post about this a while ago. Metadata guru Michael Stedell developed this thing, and it's the best online metadata reader out there. It has tremendous capabilities, and you can learn a lot from it. And it is available to us from the IPTC. This is an official version. This isn't Steidel's test server anymore. And the IPTC is offering to help. If you're a software developer and you feel that you need to add IPTC metadata to your software, and you really should, they will help you work that out. Website developer, the same thing. They'll help you make the changes in your site to respect metadata. And me too. Metadata Matters is a pro bono project, and within reasonable limits, most of the time, if you're a software developer, a website developer, or even a photographer, and you want help making industry standards compliant metadata work, I will help you free of charge. This is a watershed event, folks. Let's take advantage of this good news and this opportunity. What do you think? Reach out in the comments here or on the blog or on social media. And in the meantime, celebrate and mind your metadata.